Today, caught on camera.
Hard to say if this person knows the area or just trying to evade LAPD.
Low speeds but high drama as a potentially armed suspect leads officers on a brief pursuit through the streets of Hollywood until an unexpected obstacle turns the chase into a standoff. Then,
Police, stop!
LAPD officers pursue an armed suspect on foot. Tensions rise as the chase makes its way onto the 210 freeway with a showdown under an overpass.
Put the gun down! Put the gun on the ground!
And dangerous driving in the San Fernando Valley.
Ooh, man, just barely missing a cyclist there in the crosswalk.
A grand theft suspect in a stolen Tesla flies through traffic at nearly 100 miles per hour. What happens after he abandons the EV under a freeway?
There he is. He's on foot.
the run.
When every second counts and every decision could be life or death, watch these incidents unfold from KTLA's Eye in the Sky and the body cameras of those who risk it all. This is Caught on Camera. Breaking news on this Thursday morning. Police are in pursuit of a man with a gun. Rich Prickett is live overhead in Sky 5.
Yeah, Hollywood units in pursuit here now. It looks like actually we have other units here. So it's being simulcasted on Hollywood, but it looks like an Olympic Division officer that's directly behind that dark-colored car. So believed to be a person with a gun, maybe a man with a gun, called the car clearly not pulling over and evading police. So we're here on 3rd Street and Western is where we are right now. Somewhat slow speeds. The pursuit just now breaking out. We were giving you that story in the Hollywood Hills, and then this broke out just a couple of minutes ago. So we're getting trying to get more information from the LAPD, but as far as we know right now, possible man with a gun here. Western and 2nd is where we are right now. Coming to somewhat of a stop there for the cross traffic, and we have the LAPD air unit that's overhead, as well as several black and whites from the LAPD directly behind. They were talking about possibly going into surveillance mode, but have decided to continue the pursuit for now as this car is going at a relatively slow speeds here. Now on the opposite side of traffic, trying to get around those cars that are stopped for the intersection. So blowing the red light there, making its way through the intersection. So now we're north on Western, continuing through the Hollywood area here, I believe we are. And we'll just see what happens here. As this car still continues to evade from the LAPD. We have a window that's open. Let's see if we can push in there. And not a clear view of the driver here. So making a turn here on Beverly around the building there. And all we know at this point is possible man with a gun. Not driving too reckless. From time to time going through the red lights and on the opposite side of traffic. But this pursuit just now has begun within the last 5 minutes or so. Windows are tinted, so we're not sure if anyone else is inside the vehicle. And just continuing here on Beverly. It's a pretty congested area, you know, early in the morning here, people trying to make their way to and from work. And some people that possibly out with the crosswalks here. So going right past one of the school here on Kingsley and Oakwood, going up to a four-way stop here. Now making a east turn here on Oakwood. LAPD still electing to stay behind the vehicle. Coming to a stop.
The proceedings slowing down as the driver weaves through residential streets, the tinted windows making it difficult to see inside. Are there passengers? Is the driver holding a gun? And why was it reported he was armed in the first place?
Why they believe this person is armed is we don't know at this point. If they got a tip or if this driver somehow showed a weapon and the LAPD saw it. Not entirely sure. Definitely no one in the front passenger seat there. Rolling down the window for a moment. Sometimes when we see that, it's so they can ditch something out the window.
And just so our viewers
in a
know,
residential
Rich,
area here.
this area, we're showing Kingsley and Gilbert, but this is an area just sort of in the general vicinity of Normandy and Beverly, if you know Los Angeles, East Hollywood, Larchmont, that sort of area, just south of the 101 freeway.
The driver comes to a stop at North Kingsley and Clinton. Is this the end or the beginning of something far worse?
He's got something in his hand there. You can see it. It's a little difficult to see what it might be, but certainly has something in his hand. It was reaching over to the passenger side there, loading something. I don't know if it's a weapon or maybe just some paraphernalia. It looks like it could just be some paraphernalia, to be honest with you. But it's a little difficult to say. So has come to a stop here. LAPD also just moving in behind with the opening the doors, guns drawn, giving commands. We'll see if this driver decides to continue the pursuit or now going to keep rolling here. So just temporarily occupied with whatever he's loading there in the driver's seat. Some drivers trying to back up to get out of the way. Pretty narrow street here. Cars parked along the curb, the trash cans, and people trying to make their way down the street as his pursuit is going through. And he's going to squeeze by here, and he's going to continue through the residential neighborhood here. It's still LAPD, multiple black and whites right behind, and the LAPD helicopter directly overhead.
A false stop as the pursuit continues after squeezing past cars, trash cans, and bystanders. But despite the open road ahead, the driver pushes forward slowly, almost too slowly. Sky 5 speedometer registering single-digit speeds on these narrow Hollywood side streets.
This pursuit has not been going for very long here. Now cutting through. Now on Hubbard, still electing to go through the residential areas. So kind of slow here. Someone at the stop sign, clearly seeing that the officers are making their way up the street and trying to get another working frequency here. Stand by 1 sec.
Speed slow again on this residential street. The fleeing driver maneuvering past stopped cars, lines of trash cans, and a trash truck. But up ahead, an obstacle too big to work around.
You could see a large truck blocking this street, Rich.
Yeah, I don't think he was planning for that, that's for sure. So the truck is blocking the street, trying to likely back into a driveway. You see the driver just bailed out, so now the truck's not going anywhere. A couple of other people from the neighborhood that are here on the sidewalk watching this all go down. LAPD out with their guns drawn right here on Hubbard Street. And we'll push in here just for a moment and see what we got going on. Okay, so yeah, as we mentioned before, it looked like he was loading up some paraphernalia, likely under the influence, at least at this point. And LAPD is going to give out some commands here, and we'll see what he decides to do, because he really doesn't have much cushion going forward. He would just have to back up, and that's going to put him towards officers, and that's going to put him in a very bad position. Officers will, could possibly open fire if he decides to back up towards officers. So hopefully we don't see that. He does have the window open with hands visible, although we know that he has some sort of, basically is smoking something, some paraphernalia. All right, so reaching towards, well, it looked to be maybe the handle here, but either way, it's communicating with officers one way or another. And we'll see what happens here in the next couple of minutes. But lots of LAPD here taking cover behind the doors of that squad car with guns drawn, giving commands. Now looks like climbing out the window here. And, well, that's one way to exit the car, I suppose. So now completely visible, can see the hands. Okay, nothing in his hands. Again, this was someone that they believed to be armed. And then this person evaded the LAPD. So now out of the car, backing up. Well, let's see here. Was it? Okay, so officers may have asked him to just stay exactly where he's at, not move. We'll likely see the LAPD move up here in just a moment. So going into the prone position here. Hands in clear view, no weapon in sight. Don't know if anyone else is in the car. We know we didn't see anybody in the front passenger seat, at least when the pursuit was moving. They can't see through those tinted windows, so they're going to approach not only the suspect, but slowly towards the car. Open up the doors, make sure no one else is inside.
And this came in, if you're just joining us, initially as a man who was armed, and police were in pursuit out of the Hollywood division. They're now located just south of the 101, essentially at the intersection of Santa Monica Boulevard and Western, if I'm not mistaken, in that sort of quadrant. And police are approaching, as you said, Rich, to first clear the car. They've got the suspect essentially in a position where he can't do much harm based on the position of the officers behind the vehicle there. So they'll make sure that there's no threat from that vehicle. Once they've cleared that vehicle, then they'll approach the suspect. And they're probably speaking to the suspect over a loudspeaker. If you're in that neighborhood, they will approach and make the arrest.
Yeah, and I know authorities always say they don't want members of the public to step in moments like this, but the reason this stopped was a large truck blocked this street. The driver jumped out of the cab, and that stopped this car from going any further at that point. He had nowhere to go.
The Los Angeles Freeway system, a modern-day wonder of infrastructural innovation. More than 600 miles of interconnected highways, serving more than 2 million drivers each and every day. Studies suggest local commuters waste 137 hours in LA traffic a year. So imagine the frustration when an inconvenience shuts down one of LA's precious freeways, making the traffic headache even worse. It's May 5th, 2026, just before 12:45 p.m., the lunch hour rush. Uniformed patrol officers in the LAPD Mission Division respond to an additional unit request from Mission Area Narcotics Enforcement Detail officers who've observed a suspect wanted for outstanding federal warrants.
Let me get a backup for a quick picture of suspect. We're going to be at 144 Bloodville. Any unit in the vicinity, unknown unit, requesting backup area unit supervised 144 Bloodwell.
1986. There's going to be a male Hispanic wearing a black long sleeve and tan pants. His name is Jason Vega.
NED officers attempt to make contact with the suspect, identified as Jason Vega, but he flees into a nearby apartment. Officers make chase, but eventually lose sight. An air unit picks up Vega a short distance away and directs responding patrol officers to his location on an eastbound 210 freeway embankment.
Police, stop!
He's holding his waistband. Holding his waistband.
Suspect is running across the embankment on the 210 freeway. They're going to be going eastbound on the 210. And 972, he's up on the top there. And we're getting at units, shop 687. Let's go to that next little roundabout and hold, guys. Shop.
Please stop!
Take that next left turn, come to that roundabout where that pole bridge is. I see the suspect on the embankment on the 210, shop 972. Keep pushing, keep pushing. I do have officers on foot.
He's crossing the freeway.
Rich, if you guys want to make your way onto the embankment, I got this suspect on the freeway now, guys. Use caution. Suspect running across the freeway. And I need a unit clear traffic break at Fox.
As officers pursue Vega down the embankment, he runs onto the freeway.
On the 210 eastbound. And I got suspect running across the freeway. He's going to be over onto the westbound lane of the 210. Just use caution.
As Vega crosses the eastbound 210, more patrol officers arrive.
Hey, get down! Get down! Get down! Hey, get down! Hey, get down! Get down! Get down!
Vega refuses to comply with those commands to get down, hopping the center median, producing a handgun from his waistband, and attempting to carjack 2 separate westbound motorists. Under an overpass, officers confront Vega, demanding he drop his handgun. he doesn't.
Get on the ground. Hey, drop the gun. Drop the gun. Put the gun down right now. Put that gun down. Put the gun down. Put the gun on the ground. Put the gun down. He's got a gun. Put the gun down. Put the gun down, bro. Hey, you're gonna get shot. You're gonna get shot. Drop that. Drop it. Drop it. Drop the gun. Drop it. Get on the ground. Drop the gun. Drop it.
Let's take another look at that critical moment. Vega defies commands as he holds a handgun, seen here. But that's not the only perspective of the officer-involved shooting, as the tense shootout unfolds on 2 other officer body cameras.
Let me see your hands. 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 Get down on the floor. Get down on the floor. Get down on the floor.
Drop the gun.
Get down on the floor.
Drop the gun.
Get down on the floor.
Drop it.
Drop it.
Drop
the
it.
gun. Drop the gun. Drop the gun.
Hey, come get cover, Ruben.
Drop it.
Vega falls to the ground, dropping his handgun. He may be down, but he's not fully out, as he spends several more minutes being non-compliant.
Get a stick and let's walk up. Turn around. Face the ground. Only one give commands.
Vega attempts to regain his firearm. That's when another officer, standing feet away, discharges a 40mm less lethal foam projectile at him.
Can he not go on his stomach or?
Roll to your left on your stomach.
Roll on your stomach. Do not leave screaming women.
No, he's reaching. Hey, he's reaching.
Don't roll on his stomach and face away from us.
Roll on your stomach.
Am I range? Hey, Sarge, can we hit him? Hey, 40 up! 40, stop by! Face the stomach!
The foam projectile does its job, striking and impairing Vega. Now Vega complies with officer commands, giving in as officers approach and take him into custody.
Hey, don't rough me out. Hey, my back's f***ed. Don't start doing all that crazy shit.
It's all good, bro. Just figuring out what happened.
Leave everything the way it is.
Los Angeles Fire Department paramedics respond and transport Vega to Olive View Medical Center to be treated for his injuries. Back at the scene, investigators recover a loaded .40 caliber semi-automatic Glock pistol and a Milwaukee brand 5-inch utility knife. Both are booked into evidence. Medically cleared, Vega is arrested and booked for carjacking. But 2 days later, May 7th, the official charges come. The Los Angeles County DA's office charging the 31-year-old with 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon, 2 counts of attempted carjacking, 1 count of felon in possession of a firearm, 1 count of unlawful possession of ammunition, and 1 count of carrying a loaded firearm. Meanwhile, the LAPD continues to investigate and analyze the incident, working to determine if the officers' tactics, drawing and exhibiting their weapons, and use of deadly force meet the high standards expected of all LAPD officers. That use of force caught on camera.
Drop the gun! Drop it!
This is the San Fernando Valley. Some dangerous driving that is being observed by Rich Prickett in Sky 5 HD. Rich, I believe Burbank Boulevard at Beck, that would put you in North Hollywood.
Frank, yes, North Hollywood coming up on the 170 again. This car was being pursued by the LAPD, excuse me, wanted for grand theft, and it's a black Tesla, and he got on the 170 freeway for a short time and then exited and is remain in the North Hollywood area. Now he's westbound here on Burbank Boulevard, as you mentioned, oftentimes driving on the wrong side of the road. Looked like maybe just the one person that's inside the car. We saw him, ooh, man, just barely missing a cyclist there in the crosswalk. And LAPD, there were several units behind him, but he has since gained some distance from those squad cars. There, I believe we might have a helicopter that's either overhead or should be here soon. And so they could go into surveillance mode, but they do have a helicopter that's giving updated directions, locations to the ground units. So they're in proximity. They're just not directly behind this black Tesla. As you can see, driving very fast, was weaving through some residential areas for a time. At one point, we saw him roll down the window and was talking to some people that were on a sidewalk in a neighborhood. But at this point, we don't know if he's familiar with those people or what he was trying to relay to those people. But right after that, we saw him really accelerate through the neighborhood, and now he's out on some of the main streets here as he's continuing to race away from the LAPD. Now it looks like he made a northbound turn there on Chandler, I believe that was. Okay, stand by 1 second. I'm just listening to some radio chatter.
All right.
They are canceling the pursuit.
Oh.
Okay, so LAPD canceling to.
So they could. Yeah. So there's a little bit of back and forth right now. The helicopter is still tracking. However, they are also talking about canceling the pursuit due to for safety reasons. So.
Looks like he's been getting up to 80.
So we'll see if the squad cars decide to re-engage with the pursuit. But for right now, this guy is moving away. Yeah, just flying past. He actually just drove right past an LAPD that was parked there on the right at the curb, right at that intersection, and with nobody pursuing this car, he is still accelerating to nearly 90 miles an hour on these surface streets in the city of North Hollywood. There's another LAPD squad car, and yeah, so he doesn't have, well, no, he does have his code 3 or his light bar going. So we'll see if he gets closer, but he may not be aware that this car was already being pursued, and they are going to essentially discontinue the ground crews and maybe just monitor this from the air. But you can see right there, just riding that center divider as he's going around these cars. We saw him nearly miss people in the crosswalk, and he's really just staying in this general area of North Hollywood. We've seen him, he's gone through some of the residential areas, but ultimately he's really just kind of going in circles back and forth. So he's actually making his way back towards the 170 freeway where we saw him earlier. And this is kind of the general area where this pursuit all began. And we're hearing that this person could be wanted for grand theft. And we don't know, haven't heard whether or not the vehicle is stolen or, if this person owns the car or whatnot. But either way, it's been driving very fast on surface streets here. Now back on Oxnard Street, where we heard it traveling earlier when this pursuit all started.
And just so viewers in the area know, this is Oxnard. I believe it's headed eastbound, sort of in the direction of the 170 freeway. Is that correct, Rich?
Yes, he should be coming up on the 170 here within the next minute or so, and he could decide to get on the 170 as he did earlier, or he could continue on and go underneath the 170. Which we saw him do as well. So it looks like he's slowed down just a tad, but still going faster than you would like on surface streets. So there, okay, we saw some brake lights there. Let's see if he comes out on the other side. And
so
it does
far,
not.
No. So that's good. Hopefully he's...
Nope. And there's a squad car. He's on. Stand by. There he is. He's on
he's
foot.
on the run.
Yep.
There he goes.
And
well,
it sounds like it's just the one person.
Oh,
there we go.
And
Well,
Okay.
at least
So
you know,
LAPD has caught up to him. They're
yeah.
now on foot. They're going to be they should likely take him to the ground here in just a second. And there he goes, down on all fours, and he is now being taken into custody.
I'll tell you, thank goodness that car was moving in a way that was so dangerous and putting so many people at risk. And thankfully, the LAPD has been able to put this person into custody.
Yeah. All right, 10:23 on this Friday. We'll be right back.